Hello. So, what I've been thinking about lately is sort of an advanced subject. The so the basis here is that I've always been like, what's the word? Zealously in favor of free speech. Like, it's basically at a religious level, like just or knee jerk pro free speech. I always liked that the ACLU defended some of the reprehensible people's speech, because this is defending free speech in the raw form. People who you're certain have a terrible message, like the KKK or the Nazis, and yet they're having their free speech protected, and it's on behalf of all of us. That's the idea. But my basis for liking free speech, when I think about it, has a lot to do with honesty. Another thing that I really value. I value when people are brave enough to be honest, say what they feel. Obviously, if you don't have free speech, it makes it difficult to be honest because, certain things you might want to say are illegal or considered seditious or something. Right. So, free speech then is, it's a colleague with honesty. All right. So now we have this problem of free speech having to do with Alex Jones. Should Alex Jones be kicked off of things, or is his free speech being violated? Now, Alex Jones has admitted in his divorce proceedings that it's all an act, or he's claimed that it's all an act. And to me, that undermines why he would be given free speech for it. So, yeah, the basic dilemma is that, does free speech mean the right to lie? Right? Because on one hand, we expect it is the right to lie because, truth is hard to figure out. It's hard to know what is or isn't the truth. And as a result, you just keep your hands off of that. And you say, well, free speech is about being able to speak your mind, and therefore it's your own personal truth. And so we're protecting your free speech to say your own personal truth. Now, if you've admitted it's all an act, then it's a lie. And is free speech going to just be the right to lie? Because I'm not really into that, because besides free speech, I also really believe in the truth. And if free speech is the right to lie, then free speech is not a colleague of the truth. And then there's a problem there. So right now, what I'm really concerned about and what I've been trying to figure out and haven't figured out is, how to rectify this so that I want to see, it doesn't have to be directly linked even. I just want to see that there's a societal push for the truth that's as big as the societal push for free speech, right? Because I want to make sure that the desire to have free speech isn't really just the right to perpetrate fraud, right? Because when you're lying to people, then you're defrauding them. Now, legally, it would only be called defrauding them if you get money out of them. Well, Alex Jones does that. So he's lying to people. He's getting money out of it. That's fraud, right? Now, is fraud something we want to defend with free speech? It's like, hey, I just said there was a bridge in Brooklyn. I said I'd sell it to you. I never said I'd own it. I owned it or could sell it or was really for sale. Well, you can't say that was just free speech when you con job somebody. And that's what Alex Jones is doing. So to me, this is a huge dilemma because I still have my zealous preference for free speech, which I think I've pretty much acted on, for example, in this channel, and not just not out of tolerance, but out of, I'm interested in what people have to say. And if some of the opinions they have are crazy or whatever, to me, if it's honest, I want to hear it. But if you're lying just for some other purpose, then, I don't really want to put my whole, I don't want to put my whole self, behind that. Truth is important. I want to see something that shows me that people interested in free speech are interested in truth. Ideally, that there'd be a direct link that somehow free speech would help truth in the way I'd said earlier. But, if not, then that there's some separate thing where these people concerned about free speech are also concerned about truth and telling the truth and figuring out what the truth is. So I consider this a pretty big issue, and like it's a dilemma. I want to be all on board. I like the zealous protection of free speech. But if I'm really enabling lying, then maybe I'm not in that club. Maybe I don't want to support that because I'm not really into supporting lying. I can't imagine some sort of a moral setup, moral system where I'm doing good because I'm protecting free speech if I'm just also enabling lying. So lying versus free speech. Do we need free speech and Nazis get to use it? Because the Nazis aren't going to allow us to have free speech. If they use their free speech to get power, they're not going to return the favor and give us free speech. So I don't want to have some sort of self-destructive idea of free speech where it just helps lies, which already travel around the world much faster than the truth, as they say, as was once said. So I don't know if you guys can help me figure this out. But if so, you should leave some comments regarding how this dilemma can be resolved. If you try to tell me it's not a dilemma, probably not going to accept that because I see the dilemma. We're in a liar culture right now. Lies make money. Lies create popularity. And that's not what free speech is for. So